Hello, this is David Birch at Star Path School of Navigation with a Sunday, May 12th update on report on Jacob Adoram's row from Seattle to Australia. And here he is today, and he's in an interesting situation in many regards. Let's first look at the ASCAT winds. Let's see, that one kind of missed him, but here's one here. That's good, north. So if you zoom in, here's this system that's been the sort of, I've called loose cannon low. It's certainly a tropical storm, and it's trying to become a tropical cyclone, or I don't know what they call hurricanes down there, but it's not quite a hurricane yet, but it's almost. And so it's got winds in it over 50 knots. It's been all over the board. The forecasts have been quite irregular. But right now he's 90 miles from this and strong 20 knots, 25 knots out of the north. Now, and we'll look in a minute to show that this system, now I've got 2 or 3 models looking at it, and they're all say this system's going that way. So he's going this way with these strong northerly winds behind this thing, and it's going this way. So that's all good progress in this direction down here. And you can see if you zoom in here, well, now this one is slowed down. This is my last one here. But if you look at here, you can always just go up here, grab this mile marker. That's in nautical miles. And if you go from like here to here, see, that's 2.5 knots. If you go from like here to here, now that's really fast. That's whatever that is, 4 knots. But let's just drag this over here and say that's 5. So that's like 2.5 knots. He's averaging about 2.5 knots. And that's really, just about as fast. He's gone a little bit faster at times, but that's more or less the top speed so far. So that's good. There's not much else to show on here. The forecasts here, the BOM forecasts of the winds are not very good, actually, not very good. But there's been bad forecasting on that system. So the only other, one thing I wanted to show, actually, yes, there's some interesting currents on the horizon. See, here's where he is right now. These are currents this is Artoff's model. I just now ran this Artoff's model, so it's the latest model, and this is like a 2-day. What day is this? So this is like the 13th. Today is the 12th. So it's only a day's forecast out. But you see this strong current right here. This is over a knot, one knot, 1.5 knots maybe right here. So if he can work his way over here, and he's going to have the winds to do that, he could pick up another knot of speed right in here. That's and then also you see something similar. It's pretty rare, or not. Yeah, I guess I have to say that it's pretty rare that Artoffs and Oscars agree. But here they do both show this strong current and flowing towards the southwest right here. So that's probably a good ride if he can get over there. And let's just take a look here. Here is the latest FV3 model, and this is right now now I have this boat going this way, following that. The boat's actually going down this way right now. I should change that route on here, but anyway, here's the storm right now. And if we went back to here, let me close this. If you go back to here, ASCAT. If you go back to here, now this is not right now. This is about 6 hours ago. This was 6 hours ago when this picture went by. So he was actually up here, somewhere about here, and then in the meantime, that 6 hours is here. But it's roughly the closest point of approach here. It looks like it was about 90 to 100 miles. That's really close. That's really close to it. Essentially a tropical storm. Well, no, I mean almost a tropical hurricane. Okay, but he's on the right side of it, and he's doing well for where he is. Well, let's not call that the right side. Let me be careful. I don't want to mix up that terminology of dangerous and navigable side. That's not applying here. So disregard that as sort of the right side. He's on a side where the winds are helping him for what he wants now, only because this system is going to run away from him. If it were doing anything else, it would not be the right place at all. Not at all. But as it turns out, this system, if we watch it now, you see it's going, here's his boat going this way, and here's the storm going that way, you see. Oh, wait, what are we looking at? We're looking at the thunderstorms. Let me shut that off and look at the wind. Yeah, let's do it that way. Okay, so there's the wind. Now, here's something interesting. This is a FV3 GFS, right? And they're calling for read the wind speed up here. Look at that. They've got strong winds, but 30, 34 knots, 33 knots, something like that. That's wrong, okay? That's totally wrong. Here's what the real winds are in that system. These are 50 knots. These are 50 knots. And this is not a model, right? Keep in mind, this is not a model, not a prediction. This is a satellite went over and measured that wind speed. So this is 50 knots here. Here's 40 over here, all around this side. But the peak winds were 50 knots. You come down here to the best forecast that's available, and you're getting out of it only 40 knots. So we have to keep in mind that this, even the FV3 GFS, it's got the same property as a normal GFS, meaning it's very poor on these small, tight systems. Very poor forecasting. Does not give enough winds, enough wind speed. Often they do the tracking, okay, about where the system's going, but they almost always get the wind, underestimate the wind. So here you got 30, 35 knots of wind, and the real wind is 50. Okay, but let's look at where it's going, and it's going away from him. It's going away from him. So that's the news on that. That's all I wanted to show. And so the progress is, and here you see by Monday or Tuesday, his wind, according to this model, is flipped around, and it's now westerly. And so that's going to push him back that way. But I think at some point here he's thinking about the route. There's a lot of basically Cairns, Australia is behind the Great Barrier Reef. So that's kind of an issue with a boat that you don't have much control over. So I'm sure he's thinking about alternatives, or no, I'm not sure. We have not discussed it. But there's other places to land in Australia. If you go down here to Brisbane, you miss all of that, and it's also more or less in front of the boat at the moment. Whereas Cairns is up here is just about to go south of Cairns. Okay, anyway, that's on the horizon to be figured out.